This is the AmazFit Helio Ring. It's a health tracking ring with the ability to track your sleep, your training readiness, your heart rate, your stress, your blood oxygen saturation levels, and somehow it can even track my menstrual cycle, which is definitely something that I've been wanting a ring to do. But maybe the most important thing, I actually like the way that this thing looks. Okay, before we even begin, I want to mention that AmazFit is only selling this Helio Ring in size 10 and size 12. They sell this at a price of $299, and lucky for me, one of these sizes seems to work on my index finger pretty well. I've actually been testing a lot of these health and fitness tracking rings over the past couple years here on this channel, and you'll typically get more accurate heart rate results by wearing a ring like this on your index finger. Now you'll also want to try to have the optical heart rate sensor facing the inside of your hand. But there's actually a little groove on the inside of this ring here and a mark on the outside of the ring to help remind you to orient the ring in the right direction because, well, it's a ring and we're all gonna spin this thing around a little bit. Okay, one thing that's actually pretty amazing about this tiny little ring is just how much tech is packed inside of this thing. The Helio Ring has an optical heart rate sensor, a skin temperature sensor, and an electrodermal activity or an EDA sensor to monitor variations in skin conductance because of sweat. And it'll measure your heart rate variability and it'll measure your stress levels. It also includes a 3-axis gyro and accelerometer, as well as Bluetooth for connectivity to a smart device like your smartphone. And with all of this, all of those sensors packed in here, all of it weighs in at just over 4 grams. But before we go gushing over just how lightweight this device is, the 4 or 5 other rings that I've tested here on this channel are all right in that same ballpark. Now, looking at battery life, I think you might see about a full day less of battery life than some of the other competitive options on the market. For me personally, the Helios, I'm seeing about 3 or 4 days before I need to charge this device. And this device just sits flat on top of a circular little charger here. I find it a touch annoying that you actually have to line up this thing just right to get it to charge. But I've been using the Helio Ring daily for about 2 months now, and so far it's actually holding up really well. Of course, you guys know me, you know this channel, you know that I'm gonna drop in like some tight macro shots here, try to find any sort of scratches or anything like that. But these shots do tend to show tiny, tiny little scratches, things that you don't normally look at, because to me, looking at this ring, I don't see anything to my naked eye. It actually looks really quite good. Now the Helio Ring can track how much you've slept, as well as the different stages of sleep that you've gone through in a given night. Those are things like REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep, or any time that you get up and wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or things like that. And it's extremely hard to test the accuracy of that kind of thing, but it is generally tracking well with a lot of the other devices that I wear while I'm sleeping. So devices like a Garmin watch, a Suunto watch, or an Apple watch, or even other rings that I've been comparing this ring to. In this case, my Helio Ring has me sleeping for 7 hours. The Suunto says 6 hours and 43 minutes, and my Garmin watch has me at 6 hours and 50 minutes. Which one is correct? Definitely hard to say. I have noticed probably that my Apple Watch, Garmin watch, and Suunto do tend to agree a little bit more tightly with each other as opposed to the Helio Ring when it comes to sleep duration. And then as far as like sleep stages, I don't actually trust any of these devices to do a good job of tracking sleep stages. There really isn't much of a product on the market that really does a good job of tracking those. But the Helio Ring also tracks your heart rate throughout the night and your breathing quality. And if you are already in the AmazFit ecosystem with one of their watches, the data between the Ring and the watches can easily be merged and used together within the Zepp application. The Zepp application is the smartphone application that you use to manage all of that data with your watch or with this particular ring. Now, even without an AmazFit watch, you can still use your Helio Ring to track your heart rate on a run or a walk or a bike ride. It's basically using your smartphone to do all of the GPS tracking and then pulling in heart rate data from the ring itself. Now, I actually tried this a few times. I didn't really have a lot of luck with that. I think in one case, while cycling, I put my iPhone on my back, basically in the back jersey pocket, and it seems to have lost connection completely to the ring itself for pretty much the entire ride. GPS accuracy was fine, it wasn't great, but really that's GPS accuracy coming from my phone. Heart rate accuracy was basically missing from the entire ride. And I think a lot of it is just a lack of connectivity from the ring to my phone. Basically, I think it struggled to go through my body, but for whatever reason, wasn't great. Other things that I wish were slightly different, I mentioned this at the top of the video, but obviously we're gonna need more sizing options. While we're at it, I would love to see a few more styles potentially. Not that I don't like this style, I actually like the style of this ring and the look of this ring quite a bit. I just think other people might prefer to have a few different options to choose from. And hopefully they'll do like a sizing kit where you are sent a sizing kit first, you pick out a size, try it for a couple of days, make sure it's comfortable on your finger before actually deciding on a specific size. Otherwise, going back and forth with sizing can be a little bit difficult. I'd also love to see more details bubbling up through alerts and notifications. I'd love to see things that I can do with this data to help improve my sleep or just my overall health. These helpful suggestions are something that I've really kind of gotten used to on my Ultrahuman Air ring, and I actually like them quite a bit. So that's maybe stuff like when to start avoiding bright lights, or maybe even stimulants like caffeine, so that you can get to bed easier. But also like other things like when to move your body a little bit more, or when your body battery is getting low in the case of Garmin. The Helio does send you an alert when the ring drops below 30%, and then another alert when it drops below 10%. It's something that I seem to have missed a few times, and I noticed that I was wearing this ring while it was dead for quite a few days. There's also this weird Zepp alert telling me that they've detected a change in my mood and that they're giving me a timestamp, and I guess what they want me to do is to classify whatever caused that change in mood. So maybe I'm chilling out on the couch for a little bit and it just notices a change in stress levels, and it wants me to categorize it. It's kind of odd. I really haven't like gone through and categorized a whole bunch of it, but maybe it is something that I would use, or I think the problem is that I just don't know why. Like, why should I categorize these things? I think if I knew why and why it would be helpful for me, I think I would use it a bit more. And then I also had one issue where I was putting the ring on the charger and I got a red light instead of a blue light, meaning that there was some sort of error with the ring and it wasn't able to charge correctly. For you guys, there is a way to reset the device and the charger itself by pushing a little pin into the charging case here. It's kind of tricky to find. You kind of just push it in once or push it in twice and hold it, and it'll reset the charging device. Okay, I should also probably mention that if you are buying an AmazFit smartwatch, you can actually bundle this ring and you'll get $150 off your order. You'll also get 3 months of Zepp Oura and 6 months of Zepp Fitness. Zepp Oura is their AI assistant within the app. You can kind of ask it health questions and things like that. And Zepp Fitness is weekly and monthly reports on your training and fitness levels. And Zepp Fitness seems to also have an AI component to it as well. I don't think that those things are necessary, but it might be worth checking out, especially since they're free. Now, after testing a lot of these smart rings, I would definitely say that the AmazFit Helio is one that we should be considering. But this area, like I said before, is really heating up. This market is definitely evolving quickly. So I do think it's worth you guys doing a little bit of research just to figure out which one of these rings might work best for you. I'm definitely a big fan of the way that this particular device looks, but maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? Is this something that you would consider? I think I definitely would lean more towards this ring if I were already inside the AmazFit ecosystem. But either way, I do hope that you're getting out there, swimming, biking, running, rinsing, and repeating it all over again. And we will see you guys on the next one.